Hello, Akko here. Welcome back to FTB Resurrection on the Utopia server. I'm on the line at the minute with Landstrider, Rorax, and Ron Douglas, aka Funshine X. Rorax is the newest member of the server and the newest member of Nemgo. We have got all the builders, so we are going to have pretty stuff. Speaking of that, Landstrider has made as is part of the conglomerate. They've got an awesome space station. You should check out his video. It's Teddy here, and I can't remember who else is in the conglomerate with him. They've got an awesome space station with a full-scale space shuttle. Very cool. Funshine has got an awesome factory in the Void Age. Some really nice building going on in the Void Ages. I've done nothing with our oil tanker yet, but I'm going to do some of that in this episode. So I'm going to do you a quick update on what I've done between episodes. I've been ragging around my base a lot, trying to grow these nodes. Trying to grow this node, in fact. As I mentioned before, I'm trying to get it to 64 in each primal because that'll make it an energized 8 once I energize it by putting a transducer on top. And I've been feeding it nodes. I've just moved that there so it's not in range of that one. So there's a 4 gap between them two so that there's no cross-talk between them two. But as you can see, this is getting fed at the minute. Vitrium and air. Vitrium breaks down into quite a few different aspects, and I've got air and terror on there. And in there we've got some more to feed it once one of these is gone. This takes a while. Nodes replenish themselves when they're not chunk loaded, but they don't merge when they're not chunk loaded. So I've been hanging around my base a lot. I've actually now got a little chunk load in my base because we have tested it. It doesn't seem to be detrimental to the server having the overworld base chunk loaded when there's not a lot of heavy automation. So it seems okay. If there cause any problems, I'll be taking that back out, of course. I've been doing some building work since I've been hanging around here. And I put a roof, an oriental style roof, on my Thaumcraft area here. This is just a design I put in Minecraft Japanese design, Japanese roofs in Google, and I found this design on a handy Minecraft guide site that I thought rather than try and reinvent the wheel, so I'll just use that as a guide, and I've kind of half copied it. I've done some different stuff like the paper walls and chisel blocks and stuff, but I think it looks a bit too sprucey. I may have to change that up. I think I'm overusing the spruce too much. I need something to contrast it. So I'm going to try a few different types of stone, cobble, something else, just to make that look a bit different. Now, what I'm also going to do, these are micro blocked slabs. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to be off book like I didn't plan to. What I'm going to do instead is a nice little trick with the carpenter blocks. I'm just going to half slab this. If you have it covered with one material, for example, let's say if I had a stone brick roof, like so, you can cover one of the sides. So there we go, look, that's just done the bottom of the bookshelf there, so you can get a nice little effects. So I'm going to do it all with carpenter blocks so I can have a different effect on the bottom there. That's mixed up a bit anyway. What have I crafted since last episode? I've done a little bit of crafting. One thing I was equal trading quite a bit at the cargo tanker, at the oil tanker site, which I'm going to do a bit of work in there in a bit. We're going to do a buildcraft builder architect stuff and do a copy of the cargo holds. So that's what I'm mainly going to do in this episode, I think, once I've babbled for a bit. I was doing a bit of equal trade there, and my one kept running out, and I did not have these primal nodes, I'm going to tell you about in just a minute. So I made myself a primal staff. Primal staff's really useful because if it drops below 10% in any of the aspects, it regens itself. So it's down here, and it's in the Eldritch tab. I made the one focus primal, and if you fire the one focus primal and then scan the thing you fired, then you get the research for the staff. So yeah, what the staff does, it's got 250 of each V, but if it gets down below 25, it'll keep regening back to 25, which is really useful when you haven't got nodes. In the end, I gave up and I decided to go and collect some nodes anyway. So I've been hunting high and low. I've been all over the place. I've been all through the Twilight Forest trying to find a decent singular primal node of each thing. So what we've got there is we've got 100 plus Ordo, 100 plus on Aqua and Terra, and then these three I had a bit more trouble finding. I've got 74 on Perditio, 69 on Ignis, and then 73 on Air there. And that Air one, I couldn't find Air anywhere, and Funshine X said there was one right near his base, so he let me take it. So thanks for that, Ron. Awesome. So what I did was I made a one recharge pedestal, so now anyone on the server can come to my base because you just tell them you come in from the Nether portal or from the Nemgo portal just there, and stick the wand on the recharge pedestal here, and it'll charge up like so. Very nice. So that's pretty much all I've crafted. He keeps falling in the water. So there you go, pretty much all I've crafted. I've made 6 more of these survivalist generators, so we can go to the big one once I get a bedrockium ingot. But that's going to be a bit of time coming, because obviously that needs octuple compressed cobble. I want to make an extra utilities Cobblegen. I know Nicholas has got one, but I want to make another one as well. This, I said it slightly wrong last time. It does. I thought this carried on going, but it does actually stop once its buffer's full. So you see there, that's just stopped, and it's because I'm using this hyper rationing pipe. If you remember from last time, it's only putting 1 charcoal in there. So when that gets to a stop, it's only ever going to waste 1 charcoal. So that's really awesome. So I've managed to fill that. I just left that running. I filled that minion queue up. So I've got loads of power. And of course, I've got them remote transfer nodes under there, so I can send that to wherever I want it. And that'll just, whenever it uses any, it'll just use the next bit of charcoal, and then it'll stop itself and keep itself full. So they are really awesome. Them combined with a hyper rationing pipe, so you don't actually waste much. Really awesome way of doing stuff. And that is what I plan to have in the engine room of the oil tanker. I plan to have a big bank of these guys that do 320 RF a tick each. I plan to have either 16 or 32, which will either be 5k or 10k RF, I think, about. So we should have plenty of power for the oil tanker. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to head across there. Is there anything else I've not told you about yet? Oh, because I've been looking for nodes, I've been doing a lot of stuff in the Twilight Forest. And I plan to do some Twilight Forest stuff on camera at some point, because it's changed quite a bit. It's got a nice progression now. If you look in your achievements tab, Twilight Forest, it's very nice. You start off there making a portal, and there's certain things I've not taken, like kill a goblin in a hill. So I've not got them guys. But what I have done is, if you come down here, you can hunt some of the wildlife, then you can kill a nagger, and you get that one. That unlocks this. And if you kill a lich, that unlocks this guy. So what it is now, there's environmental effects in the Twilight Forest. So you cannot, let me go back to that again. You cannot go into a lich's tower without getting damaged somewhere. I can't actually remember what the lich one is, but the better example is, you cannot go into a Hydra's area, like a fiery biome in the Twilight Forest, without getting set on fire, unless you've done a maze and killed the mushroom guy in the maze. So things damage you. So the maze is in a swamp biome, so you cannot go in the maze. You can't go in a swamp without getting hunger and it's like a blurry effect across your eyes, unless you have done a lich. So if you kill a lich, so you see there, killing a nagger lets you get a scale which lets you overcome the barriers surrounding the lich's tower. So then you can go and kill a lich in his tower, and that gives you this thing, which means you can clear with the mosquitoes in the swamp, so you don't get the hunger debuff. Then that lets you go into a maze. Doing the maze lets you eat the stew, which lets you go into the fire swamp without getting on fire. So you see how it progresses? Very nice. So the touch of blood lets you see in the darkness, so I can go into the dark forest. So I've been into the place in the dark forest where the knights are, the knight's tomb, and I killed the knight's tomb, which now lets me go into the tower, the air gas tower, which are in the middle of the dark forest now. So I can do that one. That's all stuff I've done before on camera, so I've not done any of that. But stuff after the air gas tower is the new stuff. We've got Alpha Fair, Clear Skies, don't know that one. But this progresses now into new stuff. There's trolls, there's an ice queen and stuff, I think. So I'm going to do some of that on camera when I get to it. But because of that, I've got some nice little trophies here. There's my Nagger, my Leech, my Hydra. And so yeah, the air gas is next. But what I want to do with this episode is, one thing I want to make a Cobblegen. But first of all, we're going to go to the, what's it called? Void Age. I've got a book here that'll take me to the Void Age. And all I've done in here up to now is I've done this manually, but is I've extended this to 3 of these. But what I want to do now, Nicholas kindly made me a architect table and come on, sleep. An architect table and a builder, which are in here. Very nice, very nice. And I just realised I've not brought any blueprints. So I'll tell you what, I shall cut and I shall get some blueprints. Well, remember, at the end of the episode, I'm going to put a little bit of footage in of the dragon fight. That Nemgo claimed the dragon, claimed the end for the company. So we own corporate control of the end, which caused a little bit of server drama. But I think people understand that we're meant to be in friendly competition. So we have corporate control of the end, and we're going to charge people a nominal fee for entering it, which I think is kind of fun. So I'm going to put a little bit of footage of that on at the end of the video, but I'm not going to put much on. The way I normally do it, if I do a dragon fight with the people on the server, is I'll let them show it in more detail on their channel, but I'll just put a little bit of a teaser on it. So if you want to see it, I'll be linking to their channels at the end of the video. So it was with Nemson and Ego and Rorax we did it. And of course Nicholas, but Nicholas doesn't do videos. Right, I shall be back in a minute when I've got some blueprints, and what I'm going to do is we're going to blueprint this end cargo hold, and I want to see if, I've not tested this, but I want to see if it does the sponges as well. So that's a sponge pattern to clear this of water once you've made it. So if this works alright, we're going to copy, we've got 3, we want 6 in total. The way we're going to do this is, we're actually going to have 7 because this end one's going to be all the engine room and stuff. But we're going to have one of these each, and then a shared one. So this one is going to be like the shared one that we end up doing all the shared proper end game tech stuff in. And then Lewis is going to have one. Ego and Nemson are going to have one. I'm going to have one. Rorax is going to have one, and Nicholas is going to have one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we need one more, don't we? Might have to go one longer. So that's how we're going to be having these. So yeah, once I've got these copied, I'm going to build an extra utilities Cobblegen in the end one. Nice. Right then, here I am. I've made myself a blueprint, which is very simple. It's just paper around a lapis, and I have put the landmarks in. So I've got a landmark here, and then what I've done is I've got a landmark. I've brought it one further across because I want to add the bulkhead in with this, so it's going to build this bit as well. This cobble's going, by the way. This will all be factory block once we've got a real robust iron gen on the go. But that might take a while. And I put a landmark under here. Unfortunately, landmarks don't work underwater, so I've actually encased that one in a bit of dirt there. And if you do it, let me just break that one there. If you build a bit of dirt and then cut up the bottom one, then that doesn't fill back up with water. So you can put a landmark in there. And as you can see, that's connected. So if I connect all these here, like so, that's connected that way. It's also connected that way, even though you can't see it. But it's connected down here as well to that guy, as you can see from there. So that should be a full square. Why are you not showing a square? That should be showing a full square. Maybe graphical bug, but I should be showing a full square. We'll see when we place this down. So if we get our architect table, so architect table, buildcraft stuff, pretty straightforward. It uses a blueprint there. The builders are very much the same, but uses a chest instead of the blueprint in that bit. So what I can do is, how exactly do I want to do this? I actually want to do this over here, I think. Yeah, I do. So if I go like that, shift click it onto, I want to click it right onto the end of that. Bam, there we go. And now, because I'm tight, I'm going to go get my landmarks, because lapis is quite hard to come by. Got my landmarks, safely keep hold of them. Yeah, lapis is not the easiest thing to find with Greg Tech or Gen. So what I can do with this now is, in this, first thing I want to do is I want to put a title in, so cargo hold, because it'll start creating this template as soon as I put that thing in there. So put that in there, it's creating a template. You want to give it a name so you can keep track of them. You can create another thing as well. If you look in BC Builder, I've got a template of this saved from my test world. You can create a thing called a blueprint library. There you go, that guy. And that's just blueprints around a bookshelf. And I could have just made one of them, I suppose. And you can get blueprints off the internet. There is a big collection of awesome blueprints getting gathered on the Buildcraft forums and there's blueprints for all kind of stuff, so you can make some really cool stuff using these blueprints and these builders. So they're really useful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break my architect table now. So I've got a blueprint. That means that pattern's gone. What I need to do now is I need to break all these sponges because we're going to need them to build, but I'll do that in a minute. What I can first of all do is grab a bit of cobble, and I've got in my builder's bag. Is it my builder's bag or my tool? That's my tool bag. Get my builder's bag out. I've got in my builder's bag some factory blocks. So we'll grab some of them. I need a little bit of space in my inventory still. So let's put the coin of fortune away, and the landmarks can go in there for now, and that can go back as well. And what I want to do is, so you want exactly the same place. So if I was to put a bit of cobble there, and I actually want to come one this way, because if you remember, if you look at it how it was, that had been the block where the landmark was. So if I put my builder there, this should work out alright, I think. Let me just check. If I put my builder there, if I put my blueprint in, what we should get is an outline. And the outline should be exactly the same place where the outline was before. So if you remember, because we had our landmark there, the outline was on the outside of this block. So that should give us exactly the same thing. Now I thought, well yeah, the next one I think is going to destroy this node, because it destroys what's in its path, possibly. So what I can do now though is, it's not asking for anything yet. If you look, yes it is, cool. So it's already asking for stuff. Here's what it's asking for. It wants 64 sponges, 376 factory blocks, over 1,000 cobble, some torches and some dirt. The dirt is just the block down there that I used to hide the thing. So if I put a power source on this, there is my hardened energy cell. Yeah. And we'll get that to output to the top. So now it's getting power. You see, it's just going to destroy some stuff that's in its way. It's just destroyed them dirt blocks, them little red things. That was it destroying stuff. What I can do now is, if I put these factory blocks in and this cobble, what you should start seeing it doing is, you'll see it start placing. Look at that, how cool is that? So it's going to start building this up for me. As you can see, it's all lined up right, so that's nice. So what I shall do now is, I shall keep feeding it cobble, and there might actually be enough factory blocks there already. I shall keep feeding it cobble and factory blocks until it's done all its outside. I'm going to break all these sponge blocks. It looks like it's going to feed it the sponge blocks alright as well, because they're on there, so that's good. So it should put the sponge blocks in and get rid of the water as well, which is really nice. So let me sort that out, and I should be back when it's done. Oh, just quickly, easy way of getting sponge blocks, equal trade them into dirt, because sponge blocks are a pain to pick up. If you look at doing it with a pick, it takes quite a while. Shovel, not ages, but clearly not as long as shoveling dirt. So I equal trade them into dirt, and then use the shovel to pick the dirt up. Cool. And we're getting there. We're down to the final 300. Now this has used a lot of cobble. This is going to use so many factory blocks once I start changing things out. That was a full barrel of 64. We've got a little Cobblegen underneath there. There we go, little Cobblegen stashed underneath. But that, it's used nearly a full barrel full of cobble. I need to expand that barrel, make it so it goes bigger when we're not in here. Right, there we go. We should have enough in there now though. Yeah, it's got enough. So there we go, that's all that's sorted. So now if we put the sponges in, let's see if this works. I'm hoping this works, because it's getting the water out to the biggest pain. Now the thing with these sponges is sometimes they need a block update. It seems to work. See, that one there's alright. These ones here, looks like they need a block update. So what I'm going to have to probably do is go and place a bit of dirt on all them, just to make that work. Put the dirt back in the chest over here. But I'm glad it's placed them, that's good. That saves me having to... Well, in fact, Nicholas did these two, I did that one, so it saves having to place the sponges, because it is a bit of a pain. I wonder if me leaving the agent coming back will actually work. Let me try that first. Okay, so that didn't actually do much. You see, some of them it's done it with, some of it hasn't, so I guess if I was to place a block on that, look, block update sorts it out. So I guess, because I'm going to equal trade these out anyway, just placing a block's not going to cause me any real hassle, is it? So if I run round, just place a block on the ones that need it, which isn't all of them, which is good. And then do the same below. My nephew's been a bit noisy downstairs, if you can hear him, he's having fun. Playing with his bin truck. He loves bin trucks. Sits and watches them on YouTube for hours. And looks like a couple more. And now we're pretty sorted. Last thing I need to do is put the torches that it requested in here. Where's the thing gone? Wrong end. So we're going to get mob spawn in there if I don't hurry up because it's night time. Come on, water, drain away. We've got magnum torch there, but it's not going to extend all the way across to all these. What's going on here? Why are you not right? Well, that should be working. It's in the same range as all the rest. Just manually sort that out. Teething problems. So anyway, you get the gist. That's how I'm going to be sorting all this out. Let's put that back up. And then yeah, the final thing I need to do is put the torches in there. So it wants 30 odd torches, I think it was asking for. 34 torches. So let's chuck them in. And it should place all them for me as well. So I'm going to think about it. Go on, are you going to do it for me? Right, maybe it didn't. Maybe it don't like that. Okay, never mind. Anyway, that is a lot quicker than doing it manually. So what I'll be doing is I'll be doing a couple of them. So how many got now? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm just going to stay with 6, and I'll share one with someone. So it depends on how big Nicholas wants to go, or big Rorax wants to go with their stuff. But we can share these. There's still a torch pattern that Nicholas laid out, covers the floor nicely. Yeah, it looks like that's not going to place the torches, does it? I have to do that manually. That's a bit of a shame. Come on. Let's try and get rid of this. This torches place different, of course, don't they? It might be. See if it places that dirt. Yeah. Aha! Yee! Putting that dirt in. Sort it out. Sweet. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Okay then, there we go. Right. What I'm going to do is I want to play around with ExU Utilities block gen. So I'm going to claim one of these for myself. And I'm going to build a bit of infrastructure for an ExU Utilities block Cobblegen, just because I want to see how much fun they are. Right, I should be back when I've got all the bits ready for that. Okay, it turns out that I didn't actually have to do the block update thing. After a while, the water disappeared out of these anyway. I did create a little bit of an issue. The Buildcraft Builder sometimes kind of gets hung up on a thing, and it got hung up trying to place the torches in this last bay and lagged the server out, so I apologise to everyone who's on. It lagged Rorax, Nemson, Landstrider and Funchan was on, so everyone got logged out, so sorry for that. But now this is all built, that should not be an issue. So, been in discussion with the CEO, and the way we're going to do this is we are going to have dedicated bays for certain things. So bay 1 is going to be material processing. Bay 2 is going to be storage and stuff like that. Bay 3 is going to be farms, mob and food. So I've been doing a bit of working because I'm going to work towards mob spawners in just a little bit. Bay 4, where Rorax is working, building stuff, is going to be a temporary short mid-term project space. So we'll be building stuff in here that will be eventually getting put into the other rooms once we've worked out what we want in certain places. And then Bay 5, A2, and Bay 6, engineering. And then of course behind that we're going to have the engine room over here, and then the forecastle up here, and we'll have all magic stuff and little stuff, bits of stuff in the forecastle. Cool. What I'm actually going to get on with is I want to play around with ExU Utilities auto crafting. It's what I've never done, so I'm going to build a Cobblegen in here because we want bedrockium. Now Nicholas has got an awesome Cobblegen going at Nemgo Village, but I want to play with this as well because I've never done this. I've never done it on or off camera, so I want to have a little play around. What I'm going to do in the corner down here, I want to be able to get into it from behind, so my sound's in the way already. Brilliant. I want to go Encroaching into the space, I don't like it. And I don't want to get in Rorex's way, so I want to stay over here. I'm going to put it in this corner. No, I'm not. I'm going to put it here. Yeah. I hate working out spaces for stuff. So I want a 3x3 area. And in it, I'm going to put cobble there, and there. To get rid of that torch. And replace it. We'll have lava down here in a second anyway, so it should be okay. And what I'm going to do is, I want lava in 2 of these holes here. And now I can pick up my lava thing. Put it away, and I want water in the other 2. So let me get some water. Let me quickly just go like that for now. Lost a cobble, oh dear. So there's my water sources. Let's cover that hole up. Just have to bring one of them Pam's Habits craft barrel things. I'm sure there's probably one over there somewhere. And now what you can do is your ExU Utilities Cobblegen is basically a transfer node with a lava source block and a water source block and a bit of cobble. Now what it does, it tucks the cobble up, but it doesn't actually break the cobble in welds, so it's really good for server based stuff. What we're going to need in this is some weld interaction upgrades. These guys. And we need as many as possible. I've had a little test of this in single player last night, and 64 of these made a big difference. So I'm going to need somewhere getting lapis. So I'm going to work on lapis gen as well very shortly. But what I need first for this is a lot of sticks. I'm going to need some crafting benches as well. So let's make a couple of crafting benches first. Let's go with 4 of them, and then I'll make the rest of this into sticks. Now I only get 2 sticks, but I've got plenty of wood, so it doesn't matter. Is that going to be enough? That is going to be enough, I believe. So I'm going to have space issues here while I sort this out. So I'll tell you what, I'll come back when I've made 16 of these weld upgrades. So the problem is, obviously, iron pickaxes do not stack, so it's going to be a little bit fiddly while I sort it out. Okay, a little change of plan here. I thought I might as well show you how this works in when I'm making these pickaxes, because it's actually quite useful for it. What I've got here is a barrel. I've got 1 pickaxe in it in a minute. I need 16 pickaxes total, but I've just made 1 weld interaction upgrade, so I need 15 pickaxes still, yeah? So what I'm going to do... no, I don't. I need 16, 15, 13. I need 13 more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put... Just to show you what all this thing kind of works, I'm going to put 13 sticks in there. I'm going to put 13 sticks in there. So these things can be any inventory, and think of this as a 3x3 crafting grid. And then what we want to do in here is that's had 4 taken off. I don't want to make sure I get this numbers right. So yeah, they want to be 13 each as well, don't they? So, it's a little bit fiddly. You wouldn't have to do it like this normally. You'd have to feed it into this. What I want is 13 in that one, 13 in that one, and 13 in that one. Cool. So what you do, so think of that as a 3x3 crafting grid. If you want to flesh it out, I could put 4 more barrels there just to show you. There's your crafting grid. And what you do is you put a crafting table in front of it. Oops, just the 1, don't need 2. And then we've got a transfer node here. We've got it connected to another inventory. So like I said, these could be chests or anything. And all we need to do is, if you put in a weld interaction upgrade in there, what it's going to do is, look at that, it's crafting them pickaxes for me. How cool is that? So basically that's what we're going to be doing for the Cobblegen. So there we go, we've got 15 more pickaxes. So now I can lay this out how I want it. And I can pick up them pickaxes. And I can make my 16 weld interaction upgrades. So I'll get them done. Right then, I've made my 16 weld interaction upgrades, and as you see, that's all my lapis gone. It's not very many. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bang, just for now, 2 of each in here. What I'm actually going to want, and see straight away, we're getting cobble. Pretty cool. And you'll see that 30, 32. You'll see that if I put all of them in, we get it quicker. See that? So weld upgrade, weld interaction upgrades, more makes a difference. So what I'm going to be aiming for is 64 of each in each one of these. 64 of these things. I'm also going to want speed upgrades in there because they also speed it up. And higher up, we're going to have some other stuff in there as well. We're going to have some restriction pipes and stuff. What are called rationing pipes. There we go. We've got 5 Cobblegens going, and you can see it's not actually breaking any of the cobble. That's all good. What I'm going to do now then is I'm going to put a pipe, transfer tube pipe. So create a little grid here with these things. I'm going to bang a barrel on top of each one. So barrel, barrel, barrel. So what we're creating is our crafting grid for the next level. Yeah, and I've got some stickers just so we can see this from all the edges. Because you want to be able to see it, don't you? And you can see, look at that, we're getting cobble at a pretty decent rate even with just them 2 things in. So let's lock all them so they've all got cobble in. So that's, I'm all locked apart from the middle one. There we go, so that should be locked. We could check that by putting a thing on there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a crafting bench on top of this. And before I carry on, well, a transfer node. Before I carry on, if I put the world interaction upgraded now in there, now because cobble, it can make cobble slabs or cobble fences, then, oh, see you later then. Them just run away. Then I don't want to put that in there yet because we're not going to specify what it can make. So what I need to do first is I need to make myself a compressed cobble. Just the one. One compressed cobblestone. Thank you very much. And I've got some item fillers here. I'm going to take one of my item fillers. And I'm going to go like that. And I bang a compressed cobble in there. So we're saying this node can only have compressed cobble in. Cool. So now, if I put a world interaction upgrade in that, we are now ticking from these, and we are creating compressed cobble. How cool is that? So we'll have 2 of them in there as well. And what I'm going to do now then is I'm going to carry on. So yeah, the issue is because he's going pretty slow, I maybe need to round robin that. If these go quicker, it'll keep these full. The next level up, what we're going to do is we're going to put rationing in, so it only put 1 stack of each in. Then the next level up after that, we're going to put hyper rationing in, so it only puts 1 in at a time. So as it creates more, it creates things. This bottom one though, once we're at a decent speed, these will be full all the time anyway. So these won't run out like this, or shouldn't anyway. But it's certainly not. It's certainly feeding them to the outer ones more in it than the inner ones. I maybe need the round robin things in these. There's a thing called pseudo round robin upgrade. I might have to give it a try with them in. Because these middle ones are not getting fed, are they? As much. Certainly not as much. Right, I'll get the next 2 levels made, and then I should be back. Right then, got some pseudo, what's it called again? I forgot the name. Pseudo round robin upgrades from Rorex, and they worked. So I've made some more, so I can put 1 in each now. So I've got 1 in there, you see. And what I'm also going to do is, I should have made the right amount, but I'll put 4 of these for now, speed upgrades, into each one of these, because that's going to help as well. So we've got 1, at the minute we've got 2 world interaction upgrades, 4 speed upgrades, 1 pseudo round robin upgrade. Now, these are actually quite useful. If you look, if any of these things, by the way, if you press U, it'll tell you what it does. Remember that as this upgrade will always advance after attempting to transfer its buffer to an inventory tank or not reset if the buffer is empty. It does going to say an even distribution of items. Cool. So what that's doing for me is instead of just these going straight up, it's putting them. It's putting 1 into each. Yeah. So that's all good. I think these could possibly do with a stack upgrade once they're quick enough as well. But with 1 of them in each, that's helping, and with speed upgrades. Speed upgrade, if you look at the thing on them, speed upgrades will increase the number of operations a transfer node can do per second up to a maximum of 64. So 64 of them is the max you can have. On the world interaction, it says, now it's got a different page for this, cobblestone gen. If you attach a transfer node to a cobblestone that is adjacent to a source block of lava and water, the node will generate a cobblestone, at a fairly quick rate. Placing multiple interaction upgrade will increase the speed. So I played around a little bit in creative last night with this, and 2 stacks of them seem to do more than 1 stack, so that's all good. As you can see, we've got a lot of cobble in here already. I've got a lot of cobble. So have they all got... So one of them's missing speed upgrades, the middle one. Yeah, but they've all got a pseudo round robin. And what I want to do on here is add a pseudo round robin to this one. So what I've done different on this one, as you can see, is I've got my filter there for the cobblestone. I've got my weld interaction upgrade. I can go with... Let's go with 2 of them, speed up a little bit for now. You see, can't go anywhere. Why can't I go anywhere? Because, okay, I'm already full. So I've blocked myself by the way I've done it there. And what I've done with that is I've put on rationing pipe. So there's a rationing pipe in there. And these are all rationing pipes. So what I can do now on the next level, I made my filter. And I probably shouldn't use rationing pipes just yet. That's when it's quicker. And what I've got in here is a hyper rationing pipe. So that's going to put 1 in each. So yeah, I'm possibly doing this badly. So what I can do now is with... So this needs a round robin thing. So yeah, hyper rationing is quite dangerous for this because it's not going to do stuff very quick. Well, once it's all running quick and smooth, I possibly need 2 normal, then a rationing, then to the hyper rationings. Possibly, we shall see. If I put them down there, what we should get is, we should get 1 thing in each. Why is it not putting anything in anything? Oops, don't want to do that. Get away. Now I've noticed you can do as well. You can also put things on the side of these. You can put more transfer nodes on the side of these. I don't know if that helps. Possibly does. So you could have 5 transfer nodes coming off each chest, off each crafting bench, should I say. So that's, as a minute, as you can see, it's just putting 1 each in these. Let me do that so I can see what's going on. And let's lock all these. Oops. Lock. Ooh, don't want to lock that, there's nothing in it yet. So I'm surprised that I haven't filled that last one up yet. Okay, so they've only got 1 in each. What I need to do is... So they're all double, aren't they? Yeah, I need to actually get 1 each of them out so I can make a triple. And what I'm going to do with a triple just for now is I'm going to bang them into a barrel for now. So, crafting bench. That. Oh no, I've got enough nodes to do the next layer as well. So, I'll do the next layer. So what we want in here is make our thing for our filter. Get a filter. Add that to it. So this one can make triple. And that wants to go in there along with that. One of them. And see, now we've got a triple come in, and we want a hyper rationing in there. And oh, don't want to do it that way. And round again. Yeah, I think I need to play around with what pipes are where, to be honest. But if we go around again like this, what we should get now is the next level in these. Get 1 in the middle so I can lock it. Come on, I want to make sure there's 1 in there. Very slow getting these top ones done. I'm doing something wrong, I'm sure. Because it was going... Well, no, because I've only got 1 weld interaction. Yeah, because that's right. It should be slow. Because this is, I mean, how much is the triple compressed? We're getting pretty big already, aren't we? More flying, failing. That's 2 there. So let's get all these locked. And like that. And more stickers. I have to make some more stickers. I've got the stuff in my bag to make more. Is that corner one locked? No, it's not. There we go. So there's that level, and then finally, for now, until we get this sped up, I'm just going to use this last one. What I'm going to do in the last one is I'm just going to put one chest on the top, one barrel on the top. So what we've got there, that 9 triple, let's make it a quadruple. Cool. Add to filter. So you get the gist. We're just doing the same thing over and over again, but it's going pretty damn quick. So filter in there with quadruple, weld interaction. I don't actually need the round robin in yet. Well, bang that on top of there. What we should get in there is the quadruples. So you can see we're building up. We're building up. What I'll probably do with that one is make that ender chest and then start again down here next to it and do 4 tiers down there next to it for the other stuff. So if I look at that, we've got 1 in there, cool. In fact, with that we've got 2 in there. So we've made two quadruple already. That's kind of cool. And that is, it's not fully backed up yet, but that's going to back up at some point. And that's spreading things out fairly evenly by the look of it. So yeah, until this one backs up, this is one that's, once that one's backed up and all full, that's when we don't need these. But yeah, these are, I think it's right, yeah. So that'll go up to 64 of each. As you can see, that's not keeping up yet. But once I go to 64 of each, these will just keep taking one every time they each get one. So the hyper rationing helps here. So as soon as these two get one in, it's going to take them all. Like it looks like it has done. So it's going to keep building and building and building. There we go. That's the start of a nice little, very server-friendly Cobblegen, because there's actually not a lot happening, is there? All that's changing is the face of the barrels. So I shall get on now with working out what to do for this episode. I do want to create a lapis generator. Now, if you look at lapis, you can create lapis from pulverising blue wool. You only get a 5% chance. It's not great. You have to pulverise a lot of wool, so you need a lot of wool. So for that, really, I need a mob farm of blue sheep using MFR. I think my next thing I need to work on is my mob spawner from the base. I need to work at getting a bigger one here. Similar to what I've done on my Direwolf series, where I've got a very large area of cast earth using fans. So what I might have to do is, yeah, I think I'll have to wrap up the episode there because it's going to take a lot of prep work. So I'm going to keep working on this. I'm going to see what different ways I've got of getting more lapis. I'm still only on 2 there, so it's not great, it's not massively quick. But as this gets more and more welded, interaction upgrades and more speed upgrades, it'll get quicker, of course. But yeah, I hope they like that. It's a little bit different, and it's what I've never played with before. Okay then, I'll continue working at getting that all sorted out off camera. I'm going to start working towards getting some lapis sorted out, a decent renewable lapis source. I'm going to leave you now with a bit of the pre-fight footage from the Ender Dragon fight, and I will be cutting it off before the Ender Dragon fight, because if you want to see that, check out the other guys' channels. And I'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye.
Welcome back to Utopia³ Resurrection server, and Nemgo, all but Lewis, has assembled.
Dun, dun, dun.
And we're running around on Akko's village rooftops like ninjas. These incredibly ninja-like boots are amazing. we have a new ninja. Where's the new ninja? Where is she?
On the opposite shore. I don't have any flight.
Oh, she's gone towards.
She's run away already.
Well, we should head over that way. We have decided to go and take on the dragon. So both Akko and Nicholas, Nicholas first, of course, the minion, have found the stronghold for the dragon.
Mighty minion.
Mighty minion. And we are heading there now to go and stamp our mark and claim the end. We are joined by Rorax.
Hello.
Hi.
Hold on.
That Akko just said hello.
Did Akko just say hello then?
I'll say hello to Rorax.
Rorax, you sound very much like Akko. I thought you were from New Zealand, not Hull.
he's got split personality. What
I also had a gender change, so...
So now you sound like Akko.
Yeah, I've gone from Rose to Rodney.
Rodney. It's a good Yorkshire name, that.
I in no way just jumped in that lava.
Are we supposed to be going down there?
Yeah.
Judging by the bricks
Oh.
there.
Okay, fine.
Was that
I can do that. I think maybe.
how you found it, Nicholas? Open like that.
Yeah, I just covered it up with cobblestone so no one else would find it.
All right, cool. Here it is, the stronghold. We are going to go and adventure into the stronghold. I've already lost health because somebody shot me with a flame arrow. So before we go in,
That'll be Nicholas.
That'll be Nicholas. He's got a flame arrow.
Yeah.
Yes. He also
I thought
provided
you
us
were-
with healing potions, so it's fine. There
I'm
we
down 3 yards because I just jumped in the lava.
go. Well, there's some in the ender chest. All right, so let's try not to get killed by silverfish, eh, boys? This and that is a trend for Team Silverfish.
Yay.
What? Why do they even have iron doors?
6
Hey.
iron, 6 iron ingots.
That's a lot. Could we grind doors down and reuse them? We need all the iron we can get.
I like smelter. You can melt them. Blue power.
Oh,
Oh, who did that? I bet that was him, weren't it?
might have been me. Okay, we wanna break that spawner as fast as you like. Let's get in there. We do not like these silverfish, especially with no regen.
There we
That's
go,
it.
job done.
Job done. Now let's just kill any remaining.
We can keep them as little pets.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Who brought the eyes?
Did anyone bring eyes?
For real.
For reals? You've
Oh,
both found this place.
11. I'll go get some.
You both found the place. I thought you would already have them still in your inventories.
Oh.
Minnie and Nicholas.
I'm
Surprised we're
sorry.
ready.
Oh dear.
He has one simple job.
He had one job.
Okay.
Don't mind me, I found an iron vein.
I wondered where you were going.
She's after the resources. She's
Num 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 num.
going to be doing Greg Tech on the server, aren't you?
Yep.
Lots and lots of Greg Tech. And you want to do it without, like, taking the resources we've already mined. You want to try and do it from the very beginning, grinding out
Yeah.
resources for yourself.
Yeah, wanna feel that grind, you know?
Oh,
Feel the burn.
Yeah. Well, when you get bored of the grind, don't forget that Minnie Nicholas has already mined up a hell of a lot of stuff, and you can use company assets whenever you need to.
Well, anything spare will be going straight to the company anyway, so.
At least you get to experience it all, and then once you've done a little bit of something, you don't necessarily want to go out and get iron every day, do you?
No. Kinda don't.
Kinda not, no.
Back with eyes.
The eyes?
I've got to find my way to you all again. Where is it?
The eyes have it.
I
Hello.
see. Right direction. Okay.
Has anybody got any blocks?
I've got 64 cobble,
Just checking, you know, like.
and Rorex has got 64.
4 blocks.
Just filled the whole end out.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Do you want me to go first for me? Because I can fly.
Who else would like the immortal ninja to go first?
Well, considering Nicholas is already there,
Nicholas is
he
your
would have
lord.
a hard job doing it.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Good.
On the platform.
Already in
Go on,
trouble?
Echo. Jump in. You can fly.
Oh. The dragon.
Oh dear.